Good morning, YouTube! What's up, guys? Today we're doing the daily puzzle for Jan 28th. Let's do it. Alright, so it is white to move. And here we can see that we have a king and a pawn versus a rook. Interesting. King and a pawn versus king and a rook. So, I guess this is some sort of endgame puzzle. Notice our pawn is too far from promotion. In any given scenario, if this pawn pushes, this rook slides over to the f file, in which it can take the pawn. So we're trying to go for a draw here, I can tell. Because if black can force a draw, then we're surely not going for a checkmate. So we're going for a draw. But it is not easy to get that draw. It may look easy to push this pawn and to push this king. But this king right here on b3, the black king, can slide over, slowly and slowly, all the way to the square e6. The rook just slides over to f8, and it is done. Both the king and the rook will control the square f7. Or the king can come to e7, and both the king and the rook can control f8. So that's a possibility. I think it's very easy for the king to come. It's 4 moves, and this is 2 moves, and the king is 1 move. So, it shouldn't be that bad for us. I think it's okay. So, or rather, it should be okay for black, and it's bad for us. So, we don't want to directly push this pawn. Instead, what we should focus on is making sure our king blocks this king to come to the square e7 or e6. So we want to kind of create a wall. So initially, we have to move our king, either to f6 or f4. Both squares eventually lead to blocking the king. So let's pick one. If f4, I believe the king can go around, which is not good. With f6, the king can't go around, it can only go back, which is okay, because nothing's in the back. The rook is in the front. So, I think f6. Yeah. Alright. So here's the main question, I guess. Do we play king e6 or king e5? Both look amazing. They both do the job, right? They block the king from coming to the square e7 or e6, for that matter. But which one's the best? Let's think. If we play king to e5, this king can come around, right? Through c5, then c6, d7, e7, and eventually, this king is too far away from its pawn. However, e6 is much closer to this pawn. Here moving to e5, we're 2 squares away. e6, 1 square away. So e6 looks better. I'm just trying to think really quickly. e5, king c5, f6, king c6, f7, king d7, and after king f6, I believe the move rook a6 is played. It won't look too good. Actually, maybe not rook a6. Maybe simply just okay, so if the king comes to e5, black king moves to c5, then we push the pawn, the black king comes to c6, f7, and then king to d7, king f6, and then, what do we play? I think we just play rook f8. Yeah, that's a draw. That's a draw. If we play king e5, it's a draw. I can force a draw. However, or sorry, black can force a draw. Or a win, actually. Sorry, black can force a win. With king e6, however, whoops. With king e6, however, till Facebook moves. Okay, king e6. Yeah, it should be okay. King simply comes to c5. Nothing can really happen. We still have a wall against d7, so let's go ahead and play that. Okay, so black's plan is to move its king around this way. I think this is too slow for black. I think it's very fast for us to just simply push. Yeah, this is a draw, actually. The king just takes that pawn. Or, sorry, the rook takes that pawn, and it's a draw. I mean, it's a done deal. We don't want to put it in front of the pawn. We still have to protect it, so e7. And now we can push. Now we can push again. Don't want to put it in front. Kind of a pattern here. So e8. Okay. Now we want to promote to a queen, right? Wrong. We can't promote to a queen. If we promote to a queen, black simply plays rook a8. And that is checkmate. Rook slides over, checkmate. Promote to a rook, same thing happens. Promote to a bishop, same thing happens. Promote to a knight. It's a forced check. Now you might be saying, okay, a knight versus a rook, that is clearly lost, right? Well, I think that a knight should be okay. I mean, I understand we're in the back rank, and both our pieces are undeveloped, but I mean, they're close to each other. As long as they're close to each other, we can't lose that knight. And eventually, black will run out of checks, and 50-move rule will apply. And we should have a draw. So, whole point of this tactic, no losing. Make it a draw. Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that daily puzzle for today. Please be sure to like and subscribe, and I'd love to see you guys in the next one. Take care. Goodbye.